Well, I'm glad it just timed out.
It just timed out. Okay.
Okay, we're just waiting. Hang on. Can I mute myself? How do I do that?
Oh, we really need
There we
Christina, you
Oh, there we
know?
go. Okay, we're
Okay.
awesome. All right.
Okay.
Start everyone. Sorry, we're 3 minutes behind. We had some technical glitches. Apparently Facebook didn't think I was authorized, so I had to correct Facebook. Anyway, we do not have anybody watching the live stream today. So if you have questions, please put them into the thread and I will get back to them afterwards. But we cannot get back to them in real time today. So today we are discussing myths and facts about ingredients and what we think is healthy versus what is actually healthy. And we're continuing with the theme. We're getting loud. We're bringing our 30 years of experience to you guys and we're calling things out. So thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me just, right, there we go. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is natural flavoring. This is one of my favorites. The FDA and the government would not approve something that wasn't safe. This is something that I get asked all the time or get told all the time. And actually, natural flavoring is created by using 50 to 100 different flavors created in a lab using ingredients found in nature. Now,
Which is
petroleum,
natural.
petroleum gas is natural, oil is natural. Okay, so define natural. Okay, natural flavoring is a chemical process. The mixture will often have some solvent, which is not natural, and preservative that makes it up to 80 to 90% of volume. So that is the bulk of the flavor that you are getting is this solvent. So for example, oh yeah, go
Solvents
for it.
can, yeah, solvents can also be a natural form like a tea tree oil. So, but if you have a genetic predisposition to possibly not filtering those properly or being able to process them properly, you're more likely to have an allergic reaction to the all natural flavorings.
Yes.
Carry on. Sorry.
So for example, blueberry muffin mix, you receive dried blueberries in the package and you're like, this is a good healthy choice. I'm having a blueberry muffin. And the natural flavoring of the blueberries that have been added to enhance the blueberry taste. So apply this knowledge to granola, cereal, candy. Natural flavors and artificial flavoring are all made in labs. It just determines where the source is coming from. Companies do not have to disclose either whether it's from a plant or animal flavoring. So if you're vegan, if you're vegetarian, you don't actually know what you're consuming. And if you have allergies, I have one client, she's allergic to all pitted fruits. We don't know if there are pitted fruits in the natural flavoring. Some examples that I brought over that I found in my household. Okay, so we're not perfect. We believe in indulgences here. So we like jerky. Okay. The ingredients here is beet, sugar, water, salt, beef stock, vinegar, yeast, cultured celery powder, garlic powder, onion powder, spice, canola oil. That's one of my favorites. And natural smoke flavoring. So like whatever they did to create that natural smoke flavoring. Another one. So this one I actually never buy. My kids have bought it. So parents that are like, well, my kids just eat it. And like, who buys the groceries? Who buys the groceries? So my kids went out and they bought Quaker Oats instant oatmeal because like my oldest is like, it's healthy. And I'm like,
Oh,
you live in this.
Pumpkin.
She lives in this house. She grew up with me. Like I raised her, right? Like I grew her myself.
Oh, Pumpkin. Does she think it's a vegetable too?
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
vegetable people, but we'll talk about that later.
Totally talk about that later. I'm going to read off the box because there's no actual ingredients here on the package, and if there is, it's too small for my old eyes. So the ingredients are whole grain, rolled oats, sugar, dehydrated apple pieces, salt, cinnamon, and natural flavor. So really key thing, and we'll get into it later, is the third ingredient is sugar. So how healthy is that for you? Tell you the only reason why it's in the house is because they bought it themselves with their own money. Joy, is there anything else that you would like to add to this?
Yes, when an ingredient in a package is patented. So if I have a certain combination of foods, let's say I make a really, really great salad dressing, and within that salad dressing, I have a patented mixture of ingredients, I can actually just say Joy's mix. That goes on the packaging. So, and because it's patented, you never ever see those ingredients. So you wouldn't actually know that I've included sardines in this salad dressing because it's not listed on there. And so then you unwillingly would have fish. And I know how much you hate that. So
Awful. I know it needs to stay in the water.
it does.
If man was meant to eat fish, we would be living in the water.
So that is what I would add to that ingredient list, is that you're not going to see the patented ingredients, the patented formulas.
Fair. Very fair. Okay, next one, citric acid. Okay, so it's sourced from citrus fruits and pineapple. Lies. And actually today, my daughter, my lovely daughter River's like, Mom, you can't be telling people that citric acid is a form of black mold. And I'm like, yes, I can. Yes, I can, because I'm actually talking about it today. So citric acid is one of the most common food additives in food used today, and it is used in canned, boxed, and jarred foods. It's used to prevent botulism. This is fantastic. We don't want botulism, okay? It saves lives. Fantastic. In 1917, around World War I, James Curried discovered a process for making citric acid from mold. Pfizer started producing citric acid from molds in 1919 as it was cheaper, and we were going to go into a depression and wartime famine was happening. So it's most commonly made from Aspergillus niger. So it is known to cause black mold in fruits and vegetables. So we know not to eat moldy fruits and vegetables. I actually just threw out a bunch of tomatoes because my family that I normally like to split things with never came.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
So we know moldy fruits and vegetables make us sick. So we are breathing in these vapors when we cook with it. We are consuming it. So we're breathing it in, we're consuming it, and it's known to cause impaired immune function and pose serious health risks. So this is found in ice creams, it's found in sorbets, caramel, sodas, cider, beer, wine, certain cheeses, canned and jarred foods, processed baked goods, mixed, and my favorite is baby food. Even organic canned foods will most of the time have citric acid listed in it as an ingredient. So I brought proof. I got props. I didn't have my organic Kirkland stewed tomatoes, but I do have a jar of organic tomato paste. And in it, sorry, where did it say now? My old eyes.
Stop saying that. They're just mature. You have
They're
mature eyes. Yeah.
Okay, so ingredients, organic tomato pulp. So I'm choosing organic and choosing to be wise with my dollars. Citric acid is the second ingredient. So that means that it is the most. So tomatoes and then citric acid is the most ingredients in there. That's it. Next one.
It helps preserve it and keep it fresh longer, right?
It does, but
And it makes you sick and increases allergies.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So like black beans. Okay. So organic black beans, water, sea salt. Oh, this one's calcium chloride, which we will get into. Um, so it's compound effects. So if we have, say, our granola in the morning, and then we make a chili with our organic tomatoes and our paste and maybe tomato soup, because I know some people put tomato soup in their chilies, then what are the compounding effects? We're told not to breathe in black mold. We are breathing in the vapors when we're cooking. We're told don't eat moldy food. We're literally consuming this through our mouth. Joy?
But it's sterilized, right?
I don't know. Do you want to like sterilize on the tomatoes that I just threw out and tell me whether it's good or not?
Right. So the citric acid being the primary ingredient in your over-the-counter lemon juice, lime juice that's flavoring your drinks, that's in your cooking. We're just compounding those and we're actually creating an allergic reaction within the system that might be really subtle, but then it's going to make us more, I guess, sensitive to other environmental factors because our body's trying to clear out what we're ingesting on the daily. So it just compounds, like you said.
Yeah. And so a lot of people are like, well, I can't avoid this. Like, I can't eat anything then. And I'm like, that's not true. And I'm like, I do have these products in my house, but it is a matter about me choosing. So if I'm going to use these products to make a chili, I don't put tomato soup in my chili, by the way. I'm going to ensure that the other meals that I have are fresh, that they're clean, and it's an indulgence. It's not one canned food in the morning. It's not a boxed food in the afternoon, and it's not another canned food in the evening. So our choices matter. So let's help support our body with different choices, with different things that we can add into our diets versus like just depending on mass production, because no food company is going to go the more expensive way. Now, there are some products out there that will say lemon juice versus citric acid. Buy that. Buy that. If you have the option, buy it, right? Some will say pineapple juice. Some will say like lime juice. Fantastic, right? The closer to Farmer Jane that we can get, the better. Calcium chloride. Okay, so I have my prop here. Okay, so used as a salt alternative, so it is healthier. So a lot of people, a lot of the advice, and I love this little picture that I've saved for years and years and years, and I use it quite frequently, is asking your doctor is like asking medical students that get less than 24 hours of nutritional education. Doctors and nurses are not educated in actual nutrition and what constitutes as nutrition and how it reacts in the body like the alternative field is. Now, I've been a massage therapist for over 20 years, and I can tell you that almost every 2 years, every single one of my courses had something to do about how nutrition affected the body and how it would cause body pain. Doctors and nurses are not taught this in the beginning, and they actually have to seek out additional courses. Now, my stepdaughter is a nursing student. She graduates this year. I love nurses. I have mad respect for nurses. I have my legs because of nurses and doctors. Okay. But when she came to me for help last year because everything was going sideways and I put her through one of my programs, she's like, Jody, we don't learn any of this in school. And I'm like, of course you don't. And she's like, but we should. And I'm like, why? You guys are saving lives. Like, you guys are putting people back together. Like, you guys have to learn so much more than, nutrition. Like, how are you going to fit nutrition? And how are you going to fit in all these other alternative things when you're busy learning how to save a life? Like, there's different education, and it's all valuable in different aspects and in different ways, and in different times of our lives. So calcium chloride is used as a food preservative, and companies can label their products as low sodium when they use this. It's also used as de-icer on roadways, swimming pools, chemicals, and used for water treatment plants. It actually firms up fruit and vegetables. So if a grocery store has like wilty fruit because it's been sitting in the back waiting to go into like display, they will use it, and then the fruits and vegetables get firmer, and it tenderizes meat. It's said to be safe to ingest in trace amounts, and I say this in quotation, but make sure to wear gloves when spreading it on your driveway. So it's totally fine to expose it to our internal system with no protection, but not okay if like we touch it with our hands, we need to wash them. So this can cause burning pain in the stomach, nausea, and vomiting if ingested. And according to the International Program on Chemical Safety, they recommend that you do not eat, drink, or smoke while working with calcium chloride. Regular contact with lead can lead to dermatitis. If inhaled, can cause irritation to the respiratory tract and gastric distress. So I use black beans in my chili. Look at those compounding effects. Joy, anything to add?
I think that calcium chloride, and the comparison is true because the base chemicals are the same. So the calcium chloride that you're putting on your driveway is that, and it's a concentrated version. We're not supposed to be touching it. We're not supposed to be inhaling it. We're not supposed to be doing that. They're giving us a diluted and diluted, and then saying that this is a sodium reduced, really good for you, really healthy in this trace amount. No amount of toxicity is healthy. No amount of toxicity is safe. And if you're going to be using that and thinking that reducing your sodium is healthy, we need to do a little bit more research around proper sodium balancing and not iodinized salt, but actually proper salt. So reducing your salt intake, not the healthiest for you. We can get into that later. Increasing your calcium chloride, absolutely not healthy for you. Doesn't matter how diluted it is. No amount is a good amount.
Yeah, and salt is a vital mineral that is needed in the body. We die without it. So when are substituting with these substitutes, the body doesn't know what to do with them, and it increases our toxic overload. Harder on the liver, harder on the kidneys, harder on the brain, harder on the whole system.
And yes, it will temporarily lower your blood pressure. So it's often recommended, like a sodium reduced diet is recommended for high blood pressure for sure. That's going to lower that. But then once you reduce your salt intake, and again, not talking about iodinized salts, the free flowing table salt, but when you reduce your sodium, you're going to increase your migraine headaches. You're going to decrease your water absorption actually, and create a myriad of other issues.
Yep. So alternatives are like buy Whole Foods. Like that. Now I'll show you some good things that I have in my pantry. Okay. So like freeze-dried fruit.
You don't just eat crap.
I don't eat this crap. We have indulgences, but like I got things. I got all the things. So like freeze-dried apples, the ingredients in here are apples, cinnamon, and a little bit of sugar. That's it. I'll take it, right? My body knows what to do with that. Another one, so mini fruit bars, and like we'll get into sugar. But like just mini. This is all you need. You don't need a huge big one, that spikes blood sugar levels or anything like that. And this is apples, blueberries, and strawberries. Like that's it. That's all, right? So there are options. And then even like spaghetti sauce. Okay. So like pastas and everything are an indulgence in my house. And because I do look at ingredients and I count chemicals, I don't count calories. Rose is so far like the most mainstream and easiest to find. And they're all ingredients that you can pronounce. There's Italian whole peeled tomatoes. There's olive oil. Okay. So maybe cooking with olive oil is not the safest, but you know what? Better than canola. In my opinion, Joy might have a different opinion. There's onions, there's salt, there's garlic, there's basil, black peppers, and oregano. There's no citric acid, there's no calcium chloride, there's not. So it's pretty clean. Joy, comment?
I know that when I have the canned sauces, doesn't matter how good quality they are, I don't feel the greatest. When I add meat to that combination with that tomatoes and the pasta and the proteins doesn't work for me. But I also think that there is nothing that compares to a tomato red simmer sauce with onions and some olive oil, and you just let it cook. And the natural flavors in it, you don't need citric acid. I don't need calcium chloride. And I can put a little bit of Baja sea salt in it. I put some fresh oregano in, and I actually enjoy cooking it and I enjoy eating it. And I don't feel like a bag of dirt afterwards.
Absolutely. And that's actually one thing that like in our programs, you learn, not necessarily learn to cook, but you learn what I wish we could teach you how to cook.
We'd have to first.
Right?
Not my talent.
But like we teach you on what food combinations make you feel good and what food combinations don't. And so many of our clients are like, I didn't even know that this made me feel like crap because I was feeling so crappy for so long that I just thought this was my normal. And yet it was this. And I'm like, I'm glad. Round of applause.
A round of applause.
So that is something that we do. That is the very first thing that we teach in our programs is like, let's dig up your dirt. Let's mix up your soil. Let's figure out where your roots are growing and let's change things. Okay. I told you we are going to get into sugar versus sweeteners. So stevia, agave, beet sugar, aspartame, Splenda, those are better, right?
I hate it all.
And we are giving you the extreme condensed. Like this can actually be a whole coaching session and is quite frequently with our clients a whole coaching session. So sugar is sugar. It doesn't matter what type of sugar it is, okay? The body treats it all the same. So whether it's brown sugar, whether it's raw sugar, whether it's coconut sugar, whether it's white sugar, it doesn't matter. It's all the same, okay? We know too much sugar can create obesity and diabetes. However, the substitutes are no better. So back in mid 2000s, so like around 2009, 2010, stevia came out. And everybody was so excited because like the body knew no different of, stevia. And it was the newest, greatest things. Can tell you that that's wrong. So it started with the aspartame when it was used to label as diet. It was the healthier choice and made for diabetics so that they could enjoy a sweet treat as well some of the time. So instead of a change like it changing society, we started getting larger, more sickly, more disease. And if sugar substitutes were to make us healthier, then why is obesity at an all-time high, as well as diabetes? And now, finally, the research has reached North America, although I learned this back in 2017, that dementia type disease, actually 2016, dementia type diseases are like a diabetes type 3. So tell me if the sugar substitutes are actually healthier for us. I've got clients like, oh, I just like the taste better. I'm like, but you realize you go to a soccer game or a baseball game and you leave it unopened on the ground, and even the flies and the ants and the bees will stay away from it. Like they know that it will kill them. So sugar and sugar substitutes add to body pain. It causes inflammation in the body. When we use sugar substitutes, we think we are fooling the body. And instead, the moment the body realizes that it got tricked and didn't get what we promised, it will actually spike sugar cravings, making us feel even hungrier until we give it what it wants. New studies on stevia and sucralose are also linked to kidney and liver disease. So great, you don't have diabetes, but now your kidneys and your liver are thrashed. Joy?
I think I was one of the many who were quite dismayed to find out that stevia was not the magic idea. I was really a stevia bandwagoneer. And I was, so I mean, I'll own, I learned a lot of things. I knew a lot about the sucralose, the aspartame, and all of that very early on in our trainings. And so I thought that stevia was a very different pathway for me, learning that as you're chewing this stevia, as you're swallowing this, you're sending messages to your brain. Your brain is kicking up your pancreas, your kidneys to release all these enzymes, because obviously it's going to have to deal with this abundance of sugar because it's hit your taste buds this way. And then everything gets to the stomach and it's like, well, what do? There's nothing here. And then the body goes into an inflammatory response. I think that was really eye-opening for me to see. And then, of course, like it's got all these chemicals that it's now generated to help you with digestion. They have nothing to do. So now your brain and everything else is actually looking for sweet. So you're going to kick up your cravings. And so then just like the more I had, the more I wanted, and the more I liked the taste of it and I craved it. So yeah, it was a hard pill to swallow that was not sweet at all when that came to be true. So
well, and I completely understand that, like, it is really nice and enjoyable to have a really good sweet treat. And when we are talking about insulin resistance, when we are talking about diabetes, then yes, it is a nice alternative indulgence for them to have versus like you can't have this, right? However, for the other population, just eat sugar. Just like when we say moderation is key,
it was marketed as a diet.
yeah.
And instead of saying like diabetic diet friendly, they just said diet. So then every single poor person on Weight Watchers and like doing Prancercise jumped on the diet because obviously that was good for them and they realized they had a niche.
Yeah.
So sorry, I digress.
No, that's totally fine because it did start with the aspartame. It did start, and that is actually the drive of the diet culture, right? Like, and if it was healthier for us, we wouldn't be
it would be working.
Society, right? Yeah, so like a whole coaching call on this, sometimes two. Sometimes we have to regress back and revisit. There's so much we can talk about with this one. And then laser coaching. So if you've learned anything from today, if you have taken something valuable from today or any previous coaching trainings that we have provided, then please like go to our website, www.elementsofwellness.org. Go to book online, and right at the top of the page, it's going to say laser coaching. It's 20 minutes. It's completely free, and there's no sales. There's no snake oil solutions. We call those snake oils shit out, okay? And we'll get you solutions to implement quickly. So, because our goal is to get you quick wins, because it's the little micro wins that are going to open up huge doors for for you when you stay consistent with them. Joy, anything else you would like to say in closing today?
I think sometimes those laser coaching sessions actually help you with these aha moments and releasing those beliefs that maybe stevia is going to be the magic win and it's not, and I need to wrap my head around it and then move on to something different. That's what the laser coaching helps us with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway.
Okay, so one thing that I did forget to start with this week because we had technical difficulties is, Joy, I know that you have had a few months here. We're going to like the steam train. I don't even know what to call it within the next couple of days. But can you share just even one thing that's going well?
Oh, today is not the day for that question. I was pretty happy that we dodged that bullet at the beginning of this. Gosh, yeah, I made it. I made it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You made it. Right?
I did. I was
it.
down to the wire. I was 3 minutes ahead of schedule logging on, and I have made it, and I have fulfilled my responsibilities for today and this week. And so far, I mean, it's Tuesday, so fingers crossed. And I just I'm counting it a win that I made it through this entire 34 minutes without crying. So
Yeah.
that's going to be my takeaway. And
Yeah.
don't try and wreck it.
No, I won't try and wreck it. And like,
what's your win?
We talk about this all the time of like, you celebrate the little wins. Like if you brushed your teeth today and you normally don't, that's a freaking win, right? If you got out of bed and you really wanted to stay in there because it was a rough, like life has just been rough, that's a win. Like I had those days, and I celebrated when, I could do more than 24 stairs at a time, right? Like it was those little baby micro wins. I had many, many, lots of wins.
Weird flex, but go on.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, so I've committed to 2 events this week. One of them will be in a leadership women's conference in Toronto in the fall. The other one will be a fun Banff wine and yoga one, which I invite everyone to. Like, who doesn't like Banff? Who doesn't like yoga? And like, okay, I don't like wine, but like the rest of the majority of people like wines. Like combined all three, that's a triple threat. And then so many workshops. So I've committed to that. And then also my book launch. I'm part of a book anthology and it went live on Amazon today. Girl on the Left. I've been promoting it for the last 2 months and it seems like a never ending train. But it finally launched and we're super excited. We did the first panel today. So lots of wins. Even though in the hard times, we can acknowledge what is going well and what deserves to be celebrated, whether it's just you made it or whether you became an author.
I do so want to just pause and actually celebrate you and publicly say how incredibly proud I am and just what an honor it is to be a witness and to be alongside you, truly.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So,
and it's not scripted, you guys. That's just it.
It's just we call each other out. So
yeah,
bad.
I'm not talking to you for another hour off camera, but
friends off in 5.
You got it. Okay.
Everybody, if you're watching the replay, please type in #replay. If you missed us live, then we do this every other Tuesday. There is a registration link. Normally we have a bunch of people with us, but with spring break and Easter and everything coming up, people are just super busy. And so we'd love to have you backstage. Let me know if you want to join us. We answer questions in real time. We have one-on-one conversations after we finish streaming. So thank you so much for joining. We appreciate you, and have a magnificent rest of your week. Be brilliant.